I bet you it looks like a nice little genuflection. Okay, and we'll just start here by just nice compression. You know, going through massage school and teaching for years about not compressing directly on the spine. You know who liberated me from that was somebody in the AOBTA, Matt Swaggart.
Oh, yeah.
I was taking a workshop from him and he goes, "It's your friend." He says, "No, really, it's your friend, just compress." And it's just so lovely, actually. It's like, it was probably starved for attention all these years. And let's place, like we did earlier this morning, our palm on our sacrum, just to coax some opening there. Very nice. So we're going to come over and do some point work here. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to do the inner and outer bladder meridian, starting just at the 12th rib, and we're going to continue it onto the sacrum. So get acclimated a little bit and just feel for the 12th rib and follow it up. And just place your thumbs on either side of the spine. And in measuring, all these have measurements to give you a general location of meridians. It's 2 finger widths from the spine. So if you take 2 finger widths out, you're going to be in the belly of longissimus, basically where the shoe points are, which are on the inner bladder meridian. So just feel that. And just let the tips of your thumbs come in. Now pick your hands up off the body for a second. And you know, again, with good conscious Subho support, that it should be a natural extension of your arms. So there's not rotation so much. And that there's a direct line here. Well, actually it starts here. Here, and goes right out your thumbs. So your thumbs aren't bent, but just straight. Easy. You don't have to over push. That's ego. This is shiatsu. So feel and wait for their breath. And just sink in again, only as far as their breath allows. And we're just going to work our way down. And feel your thumbs there, right in the belly of longissimus here where points are. And pay attention to what side is tighter. If you feel any side that's tighter, allow yourself to go back and do those points once again. Again, you expect to feel some tightness if there's stagnation manifesting in some physical discomfort in the area. And rather than linger too long, in this situation it's good to go in and out a number of times to help dissipate any of the stagnant energy around. Just take it onto the sacrum. And just repeat a couple times. And just allow yourself to get in the general area and lean in with your exhale with the intention that you're on the perfect spot. You're on the exact place you should be. That there is nothing in your mind getting in the way of some nice heartfelt connection into the point. Allow your thumbs to feel onto the sacrum as the bladder meridian comes through the 4th foramen, bladder 31, 32, 33, and 34. Just allow your thumbs to be relaxed and sensitive enough to be able to feel going into those areas. One thing about lower back pain, it can be exacerbated by the condition of the hips. And the hips have an independence about them from one side to the other, the iliums. And one thing that they share in common is that they have connection onto and including the sacrum at the SI joint. So this movement here into the sacrum allows some mobility through the joint. It helps soften the ligamentous, and it also helps direct that bladder, that fluid bladder energy this area. Now we're going to come back up to where we started, and where our thumbs were here, the outer bladder meridian is 3 sun or 4 finger widths away. And you'll notice that it puts you pretty much on the lateral border of longissimus. First, just palpate your fingers on either side and feel that lateral border. And if you remember from studying anatomy, that as you move from medial to lateral in the lower back, that you're dealing with longissimus, multifidus, and then as you go even lateral and deeper, quadratus lumborum. Okay, so first we'll address the points, and then we'll do a little release for those wider lateral muscles. So let your thumbs come out to the outer bladder meridian now, and rather than having your pressure go directly down into the body, it's going to go in towards the midline a little bit more. So again, you position your thumbs and wait for their breath, and you want to lean in on the exhale, addressing that lateral or outer bladder meridian. Leaning in on exhale. And again, be sensitive enough to where you feel any tightness. If you feel one side tighter than the other, go back and do those points, that area a little bit more. Chi won't mind.
And the direction of pressure is more into longissimus.
More so.
Can I say something about that point? It looks like you're close to bladder 52. That's the one that's outside of the kidney shoe point, so it relates to kidney in a way. It's on the edge of that group of muscles, and I find this point to be chronically tight on a lot of people, and particularly if you're dealing with somebody that has piriformis syndrome. You've heard of that with piriformis, tends to be in contraction, or one hip is chronically elevated or rotated. Often I find that it's that point that is like the epicenter of the stagnation that moves through the SI joint, through the piriformis, the glutes, that whole side of the hip.
And which point is it?
It's lateral to the kidney shoe point, which is between the second and third lumbar vertebrae, right at about the waist level, and then go to the edge of that group of muscles.
So this outer bladder meridian here in the lower back is addressing that area. So it's just opposite of the 23.
Yeah,
correct?
just lateral to 23s.
So that's about halfway, I would assume, between 12th rib and iliac crest.
Yes.
Waist, like you said.
Yeah. I wanted to mention it because it's sometimes a point that gets overlooked when there's hip issues.
Okay. Now we're going to take that sense into the gluteals now. So in working this outer bladder meridian, it comes right through the center of the gluteals. And just to get a sense of its location, you can feel for the iliac crest and the ischial tuberosity. And if you had a sense of line going through there, that's outer bladder meridian pretty much. So there's 2 points that we want to hit, is about 1/3 of the way down on that line, and you just want to sink in.
So you're on the edge of the sacrum or more lateral?
No, more lateral. So ischial tuberosity, iliac crest, here's the lateral border of sacrum, so we're out just a little bit out of that here. So this is just outside of the sacrum, definitely. Here, the edge here is here. Here's the point. You sink in.
That's exquisite.
And then just below that, about halfway down bladder,